Yo, what is up guys, my name is Streams and welcome back to a brand new video. Today I'm going to be bringing you the top 5 fastest cars in GTA Online regarding lap time. Now if you want to know the top 5 fastest cars regarding top speed, I made a video on that. I'll link that at the very top of the description below. But yeah, in that video I go over the top 5 cars with the fastest top speeds in the game. However, in this video we're going to be going off of lap time. So if you want a good racing car, this is the video for you. Before we get into it, one more thing, if you are new around here, don't forget to subscribe and leave a like for more content like this. And yeah, let's get into it. So all of these cars have been raced on the same track. I got these lap times from PCGamer.com. It's a very credible source. I will link the article below that goes over everything about these cars. And yeah, without further ado, let's get into it. So coming in at number 5, we have the Devastate. Now in this particular race that they raced all of these cars in, the Devastate comes in with a lap time of 1 minute and 0.261 seconds. Now that's not bad, and it's actually very understandable because the Devastate has really good acceleration for a supercar that's actually not electric. It's rear wheel drive, and if you have watched my top 5 fastest cars video, top speed edition, you would know that this is actually the 3rd fastest car in the game. Now when the Devastate came out, you really couldn't go anywhere without seeing someone driving this car. It's definitely a fan favorite. Everybody loves the Devastate. Now I have to admit, it doesn't have the greatest traction compared to some of these other cars, but I believe that the acceleration makes up for that, and it is a very solid car. You can pick a Devastate up on Legendary Motorsport for $1,795,000, and it's actually not a lot for a supercar because it's only right below 1.8 million, and as you know, some supercars like the X80 Proto get all the way up to 2.7 million. So that was number 5, the Devastate. Now coming in at number 4, we have the Overflowed Autark. Now this thing comes in barely faster than the Devastate with a lap time of 59.96 seconds. Its lap time is super close to the Devastate, and actually, to be honest, all these cars have super close lap times, but they are at the top of the food chain when it comes to lap times. The Autark is rear wheel drive. After driving this thing around for a little bit, I have to admit it does have better traction than the Devastate, but it does not have as good acceleration. So they kind of balance each other out, because with the Autark you won't have to slow down as much when going around turns, but with the Devastate, when you have to slow down to go around turns so you don't spin out, you have that acceleration to back you up. Now you can pick one of these up from Legendary Motorsport for a price of $1,955,000. So it's a little expensive, about 150k more than the Devastate, but that's not too bad compared to a lot of supercars that get up past 2.5 million. But yeah, this is a pretty decent car. If you're looking for something to keep a good speed around turns, I don't know for sure if this is the thing for you, and for that reason I would probably still choose the Devastate over it, because if you are looking for a car that performs like the Autark, where it has good traction and you don't really have to slow down, there actually are a few cars that do that better than the Autark. So yeah, that was number 4. Coming in at number 3, we have the Ocelot XA21. With a lap time barely beating the Autark, it comes in at 59.927 seconds. Now one thing I absolutely love about the XA21 is it's actually all-wheel drive, and this thing has really good traction because of that, and it's actually really good at wall riding. This thing doesn't have the greatest top speed, but I think its traction makes up for that, and all around it's a pretty solid car. One thing to keep in mind though is it is actually pretty expensive. You can pick one of these up from Legendary Motorsport for a price of $2,375,000. And another thing is it also doesn't have the greatest customization options, so that's another thing to keep in mind. If you really want to deck your car out and make it look super cool, I don't know if the XA21 is the car for you, but performance wise I really enjoy it. I think it handles really well, and it's really fun to just cruise around in, and it is very good in races as well, especially wall riding races. Since the XA21 is 4-wheel drive, it actually is one of the best wall riding cars in the game. So yeah, that was number 3. Coming in at number 2, we have the Annis RE7B. Now the RE7B comes in with a pretty nice lap time of 59.72 seconds. It's actually 0.2 seconds faster than the Ocelot XA21, and that's actually a pretty big jump compared to the differences between the other cars' lap times. Now this thing does have pretty good traction, but one thing about this car is this thing's wheels will spin a whole lot when you're first starting off in a race, so you gotta be super careful about that. It is, however, pretty expensive. You can pick this thing up in Legendary Motorsport for a price of $2,475,000. And for a car that looks significantly worse than the XA21 in my opinion, is a rear wheel drive, has pretty bad tire spin, and really doesn't have that much better traction. I really don't even know if it does have better traction honestly than the XA21, because the XA21 is 4-wheel drive. I don't know if I really recommend this car. It is, however, a good racing car, so if that's the only thing you're worrying something about, then you can go ahead and pick one up, but I don't know if this would be the car for me. I would definitely prefer something like the XA21 or the Devastate over this. But yeah, that is the Annis RE7B. Coming in at number 1, you might already know what I'm gonna say. This thing is the undisputed king in races when it comes to supercars. Now this car, number 1, one of the best racing cars in the game, is the Wagner. Coming in with an amazing lap time of 59.19 seconds, which is actually almost 0.6 seconds ahead of the RE7B, which is actually the biggest jump we've seen in lap time between any of these cars. This thing has amazing traction, it's able to keep a high speed around turns without spinning out, and this thing is honestly my go-to racing car. This thing is an absolute beast. It doesn't have that many customization options, but there are some pretty cool spoilers you can put on this thing, and I think the car honestly looks pretty good to begin with. Now this car is actually one of the cheapest on the list. You can pick one of these up from Legendary Motorsport for a price of $1,535,000. So this car is actually pretty cheap for a supercar, and especially a supercar that performs as well as this one does. I'd say it is definitely worth that money. This is definitely one of my favorite supercars in the game, not only for racing, but just driving around the map in general. This thing has great handling, and it's a really fun car. So yeah, that was the Wagner. That's number 1. Hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I really hope it helped you out. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Hope you guys enjoyed. If you're new around here, don't forget to subscribe, and tell me some cars in the comments that you think might be able to stand up to these in a race. If you enjoyed the video, which I hope you did, don't forget to leave a like and hit that notification bell so you never miss an upload. I definitely plan on making more GTA videos like this, and I really hope this one helped you guys out. Thank you guys for all the support on my top 5 fastest cars top speed edition video. It is absolutely insane. We've gained like 200 subs from that video alone. We're actually almost at 850 subscribers, so we're on the road to 1,000, and the support is amazing. I really appreciate you guys, and yeah, that's basically it. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.